Hey beautiful mystics, welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for taking the time to tune in to my crazy ass today. I am gonna keep this one really short and sweet and tight. As you can see, I'm hovering the camera over with my hands across a beautiful gift that I received the other week, and I just wanted to share it. I just wanted to do a little show. I just wanted to do a little show and tell. So I'm gonna give this a little bit of a talk. We're gonna unpack some of the cards and share my thoughts on this beautiful deck. I have my tea. There's some tea leaves at the bottom there. It's called Buddha's Tears. That's the tea that I'm drinking. And as you can see, the weather outside is a little bit overcast. And I'm here on my dining table. And so we have a majors only tarot card deck here today. I'm gonna go over all of them, just quickly covering them, hovering over. I've got some time in between clients today, so yeah, why not? And there's so much stuff going on in the world. Why not share something that is really of significance and beauty, and it's just nice to talk about, you know, something a little bit less heavy than I usually do on my channel. So yeah, hope you're having a good week. What's been happening with you guys? I hope that you're all well. I know it's not easy. The life of a mystic never is. So let's talk about the deck. So I received this the other week. Now, first of all, this deck is actually, as far as I know, is out of print. So please correct me if I get any of this wrong, if I mispronounce anything. But this was a majors only deck that was done by Czech Republic artist Jindra Capek. Now, I'm sorry if I didn't pronounce that correctly, but why am I doing this? Because every so often something comes along that just really fucking speaks to me. And let me tell you, most of the time, I'm so not impressed with what I see. Most things to me these days, particularly with the occult or with spirituality, is light and fluffy entertainment, bite-size, real bullshit that has no depth, no integrity, and I've got no idea what they're doing. It's just been, the spiritual world has just been reduced to entertainment, really. Let's get that real. Most decks are capitalizing on something else that's pre-existing. And then it kind of comes in under that banner as a way of trying to create trying to create money. And hey, I understand, I totally get it. But every now and then, and it tends to be kind of from the old systems, like this one is from the Tarot de Marseille, is that there's something that comes along and it just stays. It's a classic. It's like how would I say it in a regular way? It's like a Rolls Royce. It's something that just doesn't age, and it always is quite timeless. And I feel like this is the one. You know, it is a majors only, and that is a shame. I would have loved to have seen what he would have done for the artwork of the minors, because I don't think he would have done like a pip deck where you do like some kind of, you know, when they really phone it in and they just do like 3 sticks and that's the 3 of wands, and, you know, 3 swords, like that's the 3 of swords. Like this really has so much depth and so much integrity, and the color work and the detail, like, I mean, it's just off the charts. So I was quite shocked when I jumped online and thought, let's have a look and see what other people have thought. You know, like every now and then I want to know, like, what do you think? Like, let's even just to research this on Google, there's literally nothing there. So when something is completely like not there, it kind of makes me go, well, let's do it. So Jindra Capek is in his 70s. He is still alive as far as I know. And he does a lot of occult and esoteric art. Also does a lot of kids' books, which is really cool. And, you know, I'm moving on into kids' books. I'm doing kids' books now. And I'm also now working out a way. Yes, you heard it from me, from my crazy mouth first. I'm now starting to figure out a way where I can take my books and my story concepts and how I can get them made into short films or TV shows or a film. So yeah, I've got a lot of work cut out for me. And as you know, I'm working on my first kid's book at the moment. So I've got, I'm very time poor. But every now and then I just want to make the time to do something like this. So let's get into it. First of all, out of all these cards, the ones that really speak to me, I'm zooming in nice and close, and I'm going to talk about his depiction of the Death card. I am such a sucker for a good Death card. For me, if in a deck, not that I use tarot a lot these days because I've kind of gone beyond that, but for a deck back in the day, if the Death card wasn't done right, I was like, not feeling it. But this is horrific, scary, beautiful, dark. Of course, I like a little bit of darkness. If it's not dark, it's just not gonna, it doesn't do it for me. But he's gone with his version of the Tarot de Marseille. And we know, I'm not going to talk about where the de Marseille came from or its history with Alejandro Jodorowsky and the way of the tarot, and he redid it. I'm just going to talk about his depictions of it, because he's taken the traditional imagery and then done his own thing. And all of these cards just speak to each other. You can see there's this color palette that just works, and with the color choices that he's made. But when I look at Death with the sickle, let's have a look at the sickle there. I mean, it's like Death strikes us down. It comes for all of us. We see the head of the king and the queen there as well. And it's a reference to death comes to everyone. No one's exempt from this. You will die, and from death comes new life. The new world gets rebuilt on the old world. And sometimes we have to be cut down to regrow and breaking down to break through. The earth is barren, and there's little sprouts of plantation that's popping up with some hands and some feet. And it's just that whole thing that death just doesn't discriminate. And rather than put him in like a cloak, how you'd see death kind of depicted in, the Harry Potter, the Tale of the Three Brothers, he's got death as a skeleton. It's very skeletal looking, which is the bones of things. We break down to the bones of things, that stage of going back to the earth and the structures that hold things together. And it's so good. I don't feel like the color is coming through really well in this video because it's overcast and I'm using natural light here, but there is a lot of orange around here as well. And the orange and the yellow just really works. So yeah, so for me, the standout card in this deck is the Death card. Let's move on to a couple of others. Here we have La Temperance, I can't pronounce it in French. I love that she's got this third eye and this glow about her crown. The balancing act, equilibrium, pouring of water one out of the other, and the angel wings, beautifully done, beautifully done. It has a morbid type of feel to it, as a lot of these cards do. They are quite dark, but they also have these very easy and simple ways of explaining what's going on here. I love the band around her. The color work here is yellow. Yellow is like not hot, but it's not cold. And it's just so well done. Generally, I see the Temperance card done with blues or pastels, but just beautiful, beautiful work. Justice here. Now we see in a lot of these cards, say for example, by the way, this is the Tarot de Marseille system, so the Fool is not placed at the start. The Fool's kind of somewhere else in the mix, as you know, and it ends with the World card, or it might start with the World card, and depending on which depiction you're looking at. He's got the scales here in the Justice card, the balance, and the Ankh symbol. It's so good. The sword, the hat, the crown, the look. We've got a male depiction here on a chair with the sun there. Oh, it's so good. Oh, so good. Moving on. Yeah, what I was saying before is that we see like a sneak peek of, in the Hermetic principles, we go through all the different stages. And I feel like in this, let me just change the camera there. In this depiction, we see little snippets of the next one as the next one comes. So we might see a little bit of the Empress in the High Priestess. We might say it kind of gives you a little bit of that, if that makes sense. yeah, so in the High Priestess, the acquisition of knowledge, the acquisition of seeing, the acquisition of knowing. And in the Magician card, which I really love here, is this pillar. So it's kind of building something, it's holding something up, as above, so below. Very symbolic. He's got the sword, he's got the pentacles, the cups, the daggers, and we've got this cactus down the bottom. It looks so good. I'd love to know. It's one of those things you just want to talk to the creator. And we see here he's even incorporated the infinity symbol, the Ouroboros, in the hat, which is also done again, another over here in the strength card. So there's this kind of connection that's going on with all of them. They all have their own little way of communicating with each other. But I love the outfit here. It's very symbolic of like old witchery. For me, this is a little bit like medieval folklore, which is great. I love that gold band, and he's looking away. I could sit here for ages talking, and I really enjoy the imagery where we see these dirt backgrounds, as we can see here in the Magician card. And we've got these dirt backgrounds where it's like earth, sky. It's very straightforward. Earth, sky, very straightforward. Just keeping the artwork simple, but yet so complex. The Tower card, I mean, it's pretty self-explanatory there. You can see this higher force coming down and smashing the tower, ripping it off. Abandoned ship, and the color work, the black and the red really works so well. You know, it's got that danger feeling to it. Something's happening. Just love it. I hope you're enjoying this quick little video here. The World card for me really speaks. This beautiful wreath. We come in nice and close. Yeah, there's some nudity here, but it's nothing too hardcore. The eagle, the lion, the bull. I love the bull. Look at that bull. Oh, so good. The angel. Yeah, let's move on. Li Pendu. I don't know if I probably butchered that, but the hangman here, and I see the color work in the green. I think it works so well. We get a look at it going, yeah, like this is what it is. Things are upside down. Now's the time to make no decision at all. Just stay put, you know, thinking, contemplating, working out, strategizing. You know, now's not the time to make a move. Right now, do nothing. I can look at these cards very quickly and you just get a sense of what is going on. It is very self-explanatory and straightforward. It's not fucking around. And that's what I love about it. Although I do appreciate more kind of eclectic, abstract views of the tarot. But this, for me, when I look at these cards and I just go, yep, that is judgment. We've got this angel with burning wings of fire. There's beautiful clouds. Like, look at the artwork there. Look at that. Like, as an artist, when I see this type of work, it just lights a fire in my heart. And these souls looking up, you know, it's that, you know, transition. It's almost like they're in a hole, like they're dug in a hole looking up, and the trumpet, love it. The Lovers card for me is great. I like the little Cupid there as well. He's looking down upon these two lovers. You know, it's like holy matrimony. And they're both female as well, which is really interesting. I love that they were both female. I think that's really well done. The Devil card really speaks to me. I love the artwork here. We've got a very demonic feel there. It kind of reminds me a little bit of like Ashtaroth or something. It's, you know, the breasts there, the male, the female, and the deer horns tied up. We've got like a volcano kind of in the background, and the chicken legs or the bestial side of man tied to the pillar. So good. If you get a chance and you're able to pick up a copy of this deck, maybe through like a secondhand bookshop, or maybe you could get it on eBay, I would just recommend it, just purely just for the admiration of this, of the detail of this work. Here I think we've got the Emperor. Yep, we've got the eagle symbol is on a block of stone. It's not on the shield here. He's got one finger down on it, looking up at something else, you know, keeping himself in silence and strength. But he's also holding the same statue stick, the representation there of the same one that the Empress is holding as well. Sorry, what did I say? Sorry, not the Empress, the High Priestess. So yeah, it's just so good. I love the pomegranate artwork here. Sorry, this was the High Priestess. This was the Empress. I keep getting them confused because when I look at this, I see the pomegranates and I think of Empress, but it's like he's kind of swapped them a little bit. So I find that interesting. He's got the B and the J on either side of the temple. She's holding the keys. You know, she is the gatekeeper. This is where spirituality, spirit meets matter. You know, that's in the womb. It's so good. Some more standouts. I'll talk about the Sun card. I love that Sun. Now, I didn't get the box of this deck. I only was able to get the deck sent to me from a friend in France. So thank you to my beautiful friend Angel for sending this deck to me. It was really crazy. I had wanted it for a while. I actually had a copy of this, which I got at Costco in a bargain bin back in 2008. And I would have been about 21 and I didn't really understand. I just had no idea. I didn't understand it. And I picked it up and it only had the majors. It's a really good beginner's deck, really, for anyone who's wanting to just start out in learning the archetypes because they are so straightforward. And there is a book that's included. This version here is obviously in is in French. But there is an English book out there and I had a copy, but for whatever reason, it, you know, slipped through the cracks of my fingers like sand, as sometimes things do. And I was looking for a copy of this deck because I just wanted to work with it. By the way, the cardstock is beautiful. This version has a gold edge gill to it. And it also has quite a nice reversible background, which I like. I don't mind the star with all of this squiggles and little, you know, crisscrossing patterns. I think it's quite simple. I like to keep background simple when I look for decks. The sun is coming down, the passion, the heat, the red and the yellow, it just works. And then in the moon card, which I put side by side, I hope I'm not talking too quickly for you. The moon card here is that we see the sun, moon, and they've both got this connection where they're talking to each other, and we've got the colors, so it's so straightforward. And we've got the dog and the wolf, the parts of man that needs to hunt and fuck and kill and eat, and you know, and then the other part of us which is tamed, which is in society. It fits in the crayfish. I love the crayfish and this road that's going on. It's the journey in the moon card and the unseen things that are going on. It's so good. Loving this. Check out the beautiful work. Look at that face. I'm trying to come in as close as I can before it blurs, but look at the hermit. Look, this to me is everything that a hermit should be. We've got this winter feeling. We've got snow. The sky is very bleak and gray, and we've got this kind of heavy feeling. And he's lighting his way. He's finding his way through. He's going internal. He's holding that lantern. He's an older man. He's acquired quite a lot of knowledge about life and the seasons. There's a lot of season energy, like moon, night, sun, summer. I feel seasonal energy here. Every time I look at these cards, I just get something new out of them. But yeah, look at that. I see like a monk. It's all about going inwards, and that season in winter where everything does, it shuts down and it goes inside of itself to rebuild itself. Earth energy for me with the Hermit card. I really enjoy this imagery here. This is one of my favorites. Let's move on to the Strength card. We've got this kind of maiden energy with that infinity symbol in the hat, and she's holding and prying open the jaws of this beautiful lion, the fur, and I love those squiggles. I love when someone draws fur in that way. It just works so well. The paws of the lion are done well. Just beautiful imagery here. Perseverance, dedication, you know, what is it that you need to do? You know, stay strong, keep going, you know, don't give up. I get that vibe and do it. You don't have to be a bastard to get what you want. She's not hurting the lion. She's being gentle and strong. You can be gentle and strong at the same time. So let's move on to the Temperance. This is the one card where I look at it and go, I would have probably made the background blue or more of a purple. Sorry, not Temperance, the Star. Sorry, the Star. I don't associate green with star energy, but I mean, it works. It really works. I don't want to nitpick because this is exquisite and rare art. That's why I'm showing it. But yeah, the balancing, the jug, 1 foot somewhere else, 1 foot here. All things start off in creation in the mind, out in the cosmos, starseed energy. I love the trees in the background, the trees of knowledge in the reference. The iris bird is there. I love that they've changed the bird. And then we've got this beautiful little like thistle, but it's like a moth growing on the thistle. Like this is so witchy and so occult. Like, oh, I can't even deal. Look at this Pope. Look at the Hierophant. I love when I think of these two, like of the two disciples that are like looking up at the Pope. I look at this and go, that's like Friar Tuck from Robin Hood. If you know that character, then you'd know what I mean. Yeah, the knowledge, the gatekeeper, it's done really well. You know how I feel about religion, but I understand the concept of it. A lot of things, you know, the church controlled the government controlled the people, the red and the purple, that royalty, that higher status energy, they're kneeling before him. It's done so well. And the Fool, I love the Fool, Le Mat in French. We've got the dog, which is not a little white innocent dog. It's kind of probably taking a bit out of his leg, which could represent his companion, or it could represent the bestial side of man, which is, you know, we do want to have the biggest piece of meat. We want the biggest house. We want the most. And he's kind of stepping off a cliff. There's his little shoe. I love that shoe too. It's like the court jester depiction of the Fool. He's going off on a journey and he's carrying his innocence with him. He's carrying the staff. He's got ideas and creation. And then, of course, it moves into the next card. But yeah, so this is a bit of a look. Look at that. Look at the Wheel of Fortune. It's on water. It's all kind of turbulent and moving. The monkey, the tail, the Sphinx. We've got this really interesting character here. Some of them are just trippy, which I love. And this one here, we've got like a rabbit kind of, I wouldn't know if it's a rabbit or it's kind of a cross between a werewolf or more, I wouldn't say werewolf, but I would say probably more rabbit that's more on the aggressive side with this frog legs. So unique. And just to see when someone does a deck and they really put their heart into it and do something that is very new, but yet incorporates elements from what we already know, it just works so well. So the parts of this deck that really speak to me is the Death card. I love the Justice card. Of course, the Devil is beautiful. The Hermit, probably the best hermit that I've ever seen. I know that's a it's like, what? No, I'm being like, yeah, for real. Like, this is probably the best depiction of a hermit for me anyway. The Moon, the Sun, I love them all, but they're the ones that speak out to me the most. So I hope that you've enjoyed this little video where I have, you know, rabbited on about this deck. I will put some links in the description below. So if you'd like to check this deck out, this is the Tarot de Marseille majors only deck, no minors, just for the record. And I don't mind it. And sometimes it's good just to work with a major deck, pull out one of these major archetypes. Maybe there's something that you need to unpack there. So check it out. I wanted to share something special, and I will do another video probably during the week, probably doing an update or maybe talking about something else. But thank you so much for taking the time to tune in with me, and I'll see you in the next week. Bye.